Welcome everybody to another episode of Beyond the Cinema. We've been gone for a week, so this is our first time back for a little while. We said we were going to talk about It Chapter 2 last week, and we realized it wouldn't have been out yet. We were supposed to release a video.
So we kind of hit a little gap in the schedule. So,
but we're here.
We are.
We're back.
And so, big news week, especially just this past couple days.
Just this past 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that. Trust me, we'll get to that. All right, so do you want to take the first one?
I really do. So, in wake of It Chapter 2 coming out this week, we were supposed to get a wonderful little surprise that leaked 2 weeks early in full 1080p HD on YouTube. With our first look, I guess not our first teaser. We got that little we've started production thing forever ago. But first trailer teaser thing for Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Yeah. Wow, that is a mouthful. That is worse than The Fast and the Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, no, it's a long title. Woo.
But
so everyone just calls it Birds of Prey.
Well, everyone's seen this preview for Birds of Prey, because if you didn't see It Chapter 2, you've seen it on YouTube, because it was like trending. But yeah, I love the idea.
Warner Brothers did like nothing to take it down. Like nothing. They didn't do anything. Try. No.
But I really loved I loved how it was meant to be like your intro to It Chapter 2. Yeah. Like, you think the movie's starting. Like, it was really clever. Because when I saw the leaked version, I was like, oh, that's going to be really stupid if we, like, sit down in the movie theater and it says, this trailer is approved for appropriate audiences. Right. And then that happens. But no, it's attached to the movie. They actually attached it to the film. Like, when the movie theater gets the digital copy of the movie, it is one thing. It's not a separate file. Like, that Birds of Prey trailer is part of the movie. Like,
right, yeah. And so that way they get around the whole approved for audiences thing. Yeah.
So what do we think about the
I like all the confused voices in the theater when we watched Chapter 2 that were like,
it
DC.
Is made by DC.
Yeah. I heard like 5 people say that. Like,
I know, it's ridiculous.
DC. And because then they even have like Harley Quinn walk up to the screen and her silhouette looks like Pennywise. And so people were like, what? Like, and then all of a sudden, and then you get the rest of the thing.
Mind you, I still think there were a couple people that are like, Harley Quinn is in this movie? Like,
yeah, they didn't quite get it until the title. So yeah, we got that. Pretty exciting. We'll see. I think me and you are kind of mixed bag.
Very low expectations for me going into that one. I can't take the trailer seriously because she's like, I'm so sick of clowns or tired of clowns or whatever she says. But she is a clown. Like, I know that's trying to say like, oh yeah, I'm moving on from the Joker. Like, she's bagging on the Joker and bagging on Pennywise. She's a clown too. Like, right.
Harley Quinn means clown. But yeah, I mean, we'll for sure see it, but we're a little bit withholding expectations for it. Yeah, exactly. Next, we got the C trailer for Apple TV Plus, which is a new streaming service. These are getting exhausting. I'm sick of.
We're not talking about Disney Plus this week. No, we're talking about Apple TV Plus instead.
Right when we thought we got away, Apple was like, let's just shove that in
Here's
there.
Another one.
And so that one's only going to be $4.99 a month. It debuts really soon, actually sooner than Disney Plus, which is pretty shocking. November 1st.
It's like 2 weeks before.
And the one show that people are kind of hyped for from it is called C, starring Jason Momoa. It takes place in a dystopian future world where around the time right now, everyone wakes up blind and no one can see, and no one's quite sure why. Some people think it's punishment, and other people, think it's like some sort of mutation type thing. But point is, everyone wakes up blind, and Jason Momoa is kind of the leader of this nomad-style tribe. And his daughters end up being born with vision, and they're the first in like hundreds of years to have it.
See.
And so it does look pretty impressive. Yeah, I'm excited. It's manned by the same people who made Planet of the Apes, the new trilogy, and that's one of my favorite trilogies of all time.
It's unfortunate that it's on another streaming service because like this looks really good. Right. I genuinely
want to watch it.
The thing that I really like about Apple TV Plus, why do they call it that? Anyways, is that it's all original shows. That they're not like relying upon other things. It's
not like Marvel, Star Wars with Disney Plus.
So I think it's really cool that we're gonna get obviously some of it's probably going to be not as good because not everything on there can be perfect. But similar to like the Netflix originals, you really have some standouts that become household names. Like Stranger Things is a household name now.
Right.
And that was a Netflix original. So I think Apple TV Plus has the potential to give us some really great stuff. And I think C looks really good.
It looks really fantastic. So I'll actually let you take this next one because this is kind of your thing.
So Joker had its Venice Film Festival premiere. And if you haven't heard from the million Twitter and Instagram posts about it, first reactions are astounding.
Yeah.
That it is being called a masterpiece. It won the Golden Lion Best Film Award at the Venice Film Festival. So everything that was shown,
basically that equivalent of Best Picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, insane. Joaquin Phoenix is winning awards for it. Like, obviously, it's one film festival. It just premiered at the Toronto Film Festival last night, so we'll see how it does there. But first reactions is that Joker is phenomenal and that, like, the world is not ready for this movie.
And it's starting to make its rounds throughout the cinematic release. So soon.
I'm so excited.
And now my thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, we just found this out 20 minutes ago.
Right before we
started filming. Tyler got to see me react because I got the notification. Battle at Big Rock is happening in 5 days. 5 days, this Sunday. It is currently Tuesday, the whatever date it is right now, the 10th, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is currently Tuesday, September 10th, and it is debuting on FX September 15th, this Sunday. And the best part, we got a poster. We got our cast list, and we got a synopsis. So I think we'll go ahead and dive right into that.
Yeah. Yes.
So here, I'll let you. This is your phone. Perfect. Cool. So the poster, we'll start with that, was released by Colin Trevorrow first, who directed the short film.
Which I think is awesome that he took up the short film.
Yep, so and it was written by his co-writer. For Jurassic World 3, Emily Carmichael.
So it's the same quality
as the movies. Yep. And he released it with a quote from Fallen Kingdom, which is, "These creatures were here before us, and if we're not careful, they'll be here after." And the poster says "Battle at Big Rock" in the big Jurassic World lettering at the bottom. All new short film, September 15th. And what it features, and I'm sure we'll bring up a picture of it, is a RV, like a trailer. A camper van, parked down this like really like foresty road, and there's a sign in the foreground that says "Do not feed the wildlife," and it has a Jurassic Park symbol X'd out across it. So yes. And then our cast is Andre Holland, Natalie Martinez, Melody Hurd, and Pearson Salvador. However, we have gotten the word that there's going to be an original Jurassic Park trilogy character in it. I'm not sure what that will entail. My theory is that it's going to be an announcement, like this person is going to be in Jurassic World 3. And so I'm imagining it's going to be Alan Grant at the end, like possibly, sort of the thing where it's like the news footage after the battle, and it zooms out, and then it cuts to like Alan Grant watching the TV, like with a look of fear on his face.
Like, oh, man.
And so then he's going to be a part of the next one. But either way, really exciting stuff. Cinematography by Larry Fong, music by Amy Doherty, written by Emily Carmichael. And so yeah, it debuts on FX this Sunday. So we're going to be doing a live,
give it a watch.
Yeah, a live watch on it this Sunday. So excited. And we got our first synopsis, so I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll move on. But our synopsis says, "Battle at Big Rock is an all-new short film directed by Colin Trevorrow, premiering on FX on Sunday, September 15th. The short takes place 1 year after the events of Fallen Kingdom in Big Rock National Park, where dinosaurs are now living in our world. The story follows a family of 4 whose encounter with these wild animals becomes a terrifying fight for survival." It's going to be so good. And for those who don't know, I actually helped design one of the dinosaurs in it. And so that's why it's so core to me. That's why I'm so excited for it. I'll talk more about that once everything is released. But it's incredibly exciting. I'm so stoked.
I'm really hyped as well, because this is this is big franchise stuff, and it's nice when something like this gets revealed, and then they're like, oh, it's this Sunday, not like, oh, here you in like
here's
a
year postponed date.
Yeah.
And so now we're really hyped. It was just a complete stealth announcement. And so
just like Jurassic World the ride.
Exactly. Just all of a sudden it's open.
Just creeping out. Like
I don't know why Universal likes to do this.
It's like a
so
jump
much.
Scare reveal. Right. Like he was like nothing, bam! And then it's like
I'm like, oh, okay. And so yes, we're getting it this Sunday. We're gonna be doing something
to talk about it.
Yeah, to talk about it. There's gonna be something Sunday from us that you can expect. So that's gonna be a big deal. So that's Battle at Big Rock. Super exciting
stuff. We've got a couple other little items of news. We've got 1 second. So this one's a little interesting. The internet's been taking this a lot of different directions, but J.K. Rowling just put up a tweet a couple days ago of what is like a very like cyberpunk modern looking version of the Dark Mark. So like the skull with the snake coming out of its mouth, but it's like super pointy and jaggedy and minimalistic or whatever. It's very like futuristic. It's something I would expect to see from like a Terminator reveal. But anyways, J.K. Rowling tweeted this and just said something similar amongst like darkness is brewing, something like that, with hashtag Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. And so there's a lot of theories going around the internet right now. But like multiple like Fox, Variety have reported on this, claiming
a Harry
Potter and the Cursed Child's being made into a film with the original cast returning. J.K. Rowling hasn't said anything like that. She just put up this picture and everybody's taking it as that. If that is true, I'm so excited. That's like, for me, like I love Star Wars and Marvel and DC and Jurassic. But like Harry Potter always has had a very special place in my heart just from like a little kid. It's like my family's thing. Like love Harry Potter. And so I was at the midnight premiere of like the Book of the Cursed Child, and even though I didn't like the book very much, I read it in like 3 hours. Like, and so this is like Star Wars The Force Awakens level like
hype.
Like it's bringing Harry Potter back, and not just like spin-off, but it is like original Harry cast.
Potter,
this is so I think it's going to be awesome if that's happening. We don't know if it is, but if it does, please rewrite it. Because the book isn't so good, but I love the idea of a new Harry Potter movie.
So we will take that as it goes, and we will keep posted. Next up, Knives Out early reactions from Ryan Johnson. A real dice roll on that one. However, it's getting really good reviews. We did point out that Looper, which was amazing, also got really good reviews at first, and it continuously got them. But so did The Last Jedi, and you also and I didn't care reviews. for that movie as much, and so it's a mixed bag. So, but it's getting amazing reviews.
It's debuted with a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
So
I mean, I'm all for it being good. Like I've nothing against Ryan Johnson in the way that like I hope everything he makes now just sucks so I can hate it. But like I hope it's really good.
It looks good. The trailer is good. And the cast is stellar. So fingers crossed. It's off to a good start.
It looks solid. And then our last little bit of news. This is one that I was very personally affected by. Like this, I have a personal vendetta against Disney now. So we were at Salt Lake Comic Con, like the fan experience, this past week. That's why we didn't get a video up, is because it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So
and
we were at Comic-Con.
Both cosplay, and so we were like, especially mine, we were very last minute, like work.
Yeah.
And so we'll be putting up a video about that.
But while we were at Comic-Con, the thing I was most excited about, because the Salt Lake Comic-Con kind of is like weird with how it gets guests. It only gets like 1 or 2 people from franchises. It's not like that whole cast come or something like that. But Ian McDiarmid and Hayden Christensen were both coming from. So like Ian McDiarmid is the Emperor and Hayden Christensen's Anakin Skywalker. And obviously Ian McDiarmid's going to be returning in The Rise of Skywalker. We know that that's confirmed. And it's been rumored a long time that Hayden Christensen's going to like make a reappearance. And they were supposed to have a Q&A panel on Saturday at 2 o'clock. And then on Saturday at 12 o'clock, Disney called the FANX administration team and pulled the plug on the panel.
And said, cancel it. And
in fear of leaks.
And basically like twisted the Salt Lake Comic Con executives' arms.
Yeah, so
cancel it.
I was there we were going to get in line for this panel. And it got canceled.
We were literally present, and we got the live tweet. It was canceled.
And so that was really frustrating. I was super angry because I
But
was
you were
so
also
excited.
you were also, and I have heard rumors that it was because during his photo op and autograph signing, Ian McDermott's, he did already leak something.
What a legend!
And so
What a legend.
and that was why is Salt Lake Comic Con then reported that to like Disney, and Disney fired back and was like, cancel it.
Pull the trigger.
And so
yeah, I'll have to.
I don't know.
Dan Farr about that.
Yeah,
but it's like.
You were also hoping.
I was so excited for the panel because Ian McDermott was just going to let things fly because he's a 70-something-year-old man. Like, there's no way he would be able to keep everything secret. So that's why I was excited for that panel.
So you were hoping for the exact
I
reason
was hoping for like
it
it was really good to work with Hayden again on the new Star Wars. Like, I was hoping for something like that. But what it does mean, though, is like, it's very possible they just pulled the plug because of Ian McDermott's role in The Rise of Skywalker, but it does kind of leave more of the because Hayden Christensen was in that
Hayden
panel.
Christensen, yeah,
that like because he might be making an appearance and
something
we don't
going
want to know
on.
that. So that was kind of like, it was fun because we were there. Like we literally like watched this go down.
Yeah, and we were like, oh, and then we would hear people live complaining about it.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll have a video up about Salt Lake Comic Con here in a sec, about our cosplays, about everything that went down. That'll be really soon. But in the meantime, we should probably hurry and get on to our favorite segment, which is top 3 cosplays of
cosplays.
Top 3
clickbaits
of the week that you have to hear to believe.
We're gonna go through these real fast. So this article, the way it's phrased, isn't very clickbaity until you think really hard about it. But it's The Last of Us Part 2 release date reveal teased. Now,
which at first you're like,
release date, like when's it coming out?
And then you're like, teaser.
And then they're like, oh no, wait, it's a teaser for when they might reveal the release date. Because they're holding a media event on the 24th of September. But there's no guarantee that they're going to be releasing the release date then. So like,
it's just like they use like trigger words that get people hyped.
This article is just like emotionally manipulating.
Yeah, exactly. Especially because The Last of Us is so well reviewed. I love this one. This one's my personal favorite. No Time to Die director, which is the new James Bond film.
Bond 25.
Bond 25. And we did get a teaser for that. Forgot to bring that up during the news. Good stuff. No Time to Die director reveals Daniel Craig's surprising new James Bond co-star. And get this, the co-star is a plastic duck.
So like a behind the scenes photo of Daniel Craig with a plastic duck went online, and then this became an article.
Yeah. Thanks, heroic Hollywood. And then
all right, so multiple Netflix series will now drop episodes weekly instead of all at once, and that's a cool idea because that's what Disney Plus is doing. So you're like, oh, that makes sense. Until you realize that that's actually not true, and Netflix called them out for it. Said the weekly release of new titles like The Great British Baking Show isn't new and has hopes of keeping the winner a surprise. We're trying something new, but not happening with more shows than that. Netflix literally called them out on it. Like, was like, no, that's wrong.
No. And so
that's a lie.
So those are our top 3 clickbait articles of the week.
Good stuff.
Next up, our review of It Chapter 2.
We're finally here. We made it.
Yeah. We made it through the movie blackout. And here we're
going into blackout part 2 after this one, but we'll get right into it.
Okay. It Chapter 2 coming up.
I wanted to get a big one, but didn't. So we got the little one that I got for free from the movie theater.
Gotta love that. Just crudely taped over the Force Awakens.
It's not even real tape. It's those little sticky note bookmarks. We didn't have any tape.
All right.
It Chapter 2.
It Chapter 2. What a great way to start.
Oh man.
Okay, so I think we speed through the pre-spoiler stuff
because it's more fun to just talk about.
Yeah, it's more fun to get into like our pros and cons of the movie. I think it kind of requires spoilers. Yeah.
So I guess notes for It Chapter 2.
Scarier than the last one for sure.
Yeah,
I thought so.
I think it definitely has some good spooks. Mm-hmm. And this one, I think the thing that I really applaud it for the most is after watching the 1991, how uninteresting the adult storyline was. It was interesting in this movie.
I've read the book, and that's where the book kind of hits that, like, oh, how much longer do I have to read? sort of pace to it. The adults half is just not as good as the kids half, and they did a great job of bringing it for the most part up to the quality of the first half.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing that when it comes to the adult storyline, and especially after watching that whole entire 1990 It is 3 hours long, and it was incredibly painful to get through. And then when I was like, oh man, this one is 3 hours long, I was like, and it's just the adult story. It's only half the story, but it didn't feel like that.
No,
it didn't.
It's kind of the end game thing where like the first time watching, you're like, oh wow, that was
I'm sure on maybe a later viewing you might feel the runtime a bit more, but the first time watching it, I didn't feel like it was.
The second time, so I've seen it thrice now, and the second time I didn't feel it again. Third time is when I first felt it. I was kind of like, I kind of sensed that runtime building, you know. But that's on repeated watchings. So I think
within a few days because
came out like less than a week ago. A bunch of my friends texted me and they're like, hey, let's go see it this day, and I was like, sure. And then another friend texted and was like, let's go see it this day. I was like, sure. And then seeing it the third time, I was like, oh,
you can feel it.
Good thing I have that unlimited pass that gives me free tickets. So I think hurried through our pros and cons. Pros, I do think it's scarier and more intense. I personally am not very scared by horror movies. But I do think objectively this is a more intense and dark version, which is saying something because I thought chapter 1 was too.
I think definitely like intense and dark. I think I found the first one a bit more like frightening.
Really?
Maybe. Yeah. I think because this movie has like its scares, and I think the scares themselves are better. That like they're more intense, more like, oh man. But I think like the first movie overall, I felt more of a suspense watching the first film all the way through.
Gotcha. Okay, I can agree with that. I'd say the scares themselves in this one are scarier.
Yeah, the scares are better, but then like when a scare isn't happening, you're not like
the scares in this one and like the payoffs and stuff are just in general just a scarier concept. Like the things Pennywise does in this movie are more intense than I think in the last one.
He's very vicious.
Yeah, exactly. He just has like no holds barred. Yeah. So I think that's a pro. We get a lot more of Pennywise, which I really enjoy because Bill Skarsgård is incredible.
Yes.
The adult cast is amazing. Bill Hader, Jessica Chastain, James McAvoy. I don't even know his name, but whoever played Adult Eddie is incredible.
He's like, I swear they just took like the kid Eddie and put him in a time machine
and pulled him out. Yeah.
Pulled him out.
It's all of them look so much like the young person and have the exact same mannerisms. I mean, like, they all crushed it.
Ben. Ben is like, because you know that in the book he becomes like
hot.
He becomes hot, but he's way hot in this one.
I mean, like there's literally a scene where his shirt is up because Pennywise is messing with him,
and he's got like rock hard
and it just like pans down and his rippling ass.
He's just got his 8-pack, and it's like, oh man,
and it's like, wow, you really went from like the chubby kid of the group to like a full blown like piece of man candy. Like
he's like
just a complete smoke show. Yeah. And I mean, they make jokes about it too, but his face does look like Ben's.
Yeah. And they're all really great. Yeah. Even, like, I think he's the only one where I was like, but it still was a great performance.
Yeah, they all killed it. The casting is honestly phenomenal in this movie.
Yep.
And let's see, what other pros are there?
I think that was our pros.
Yeah, the one con we have is actually
it's kind of a big one as well. Like there's only one con to this movie,
but it's a pretty large one.
It's a big con. So there's this running gag in the film because
that pokes fun at
Stephen King because like if you know the It story, like Bill's character is meant to be like a reflection of Stephen King. He's a writer of like
a screenwriter, an author, which Stephen King is famous for. And now he is screenwrites, and before he was an author.
And so there's this running gag that Stephen King can't write a good ending, and so they put this in the movie that Bill can't write a good ending. And it's funny, except the ending sucks in this movie.
Yeah.
And so the movie has a bad ending.
And so now to get into that is where spoiler territory happens because it's the end of the movie. So from now on, we're in spoiler territory. Don't listen here from henceforward if you haven't watched it. So Pennywise dies by being roasted and turned into a big pile of clown pudding.
The thing that stinks, though, is not even a roast. Like, it would, because I feel like Bill Hader, like, especially his character, has so many cheeky one-liners against other losers. He could have just ripped into him, but instead they're like, "You're a dumb clown, you clown. You're such a clown,
you
clown." Like, they just call him a clown, like, 100 times. And I'm like...
And then they call him, like, a leper. They basically just say what he turns into. And
you're just a headless boy. I'm like, that's kind of scary. Like,
that's a little spooky. And I mean, yeah, he is a clown, but like, he's also the scariest clown to ever have existed ever.
And those threats are the same thing as Pennywise calling Ben fat, because he calls him fat when he's an adult, and he's like, well, but I'm not. And it's the same thing where it's like, you call Pennywise a clown, but it's like, who cares?
Yeah, Pennywise could be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
And like, okay, fine, here's the clown.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, fine, I won't be a clown. I'll be something that's way scarier than a clown. Like,
and not to mention, like, all of those things, like the leper, that could be scary. They make it scary in the movie.
Absolutely.
The clown, he's the scariest clown to have ever existed. That's the whole point of this clown.
Is that he's scary.
Yeah, and so that was a little rough, especially because, like, we even get, like, Bill Hader roasting him in a better way, like 5 seconds prior. He calls him a sloppy bitch and then throws a rock at him. And so we get that, and that's funny. And that's like more of a roast than...
Yeah. And then Bill Hader gets hit with the deadlights.
Yeah, we get an amazing following to that because he's just floating up like... And so... But even beyond that, I think our biggest complaint is like... I personally didn't like the like step on pile of gum Pennywise that happens right before he dies with the little baby face and baby hands. Yeah. I thought that was stupid. But at least with the whole like roasting him thing, I can kind of see where they're coming from, where it's their perception of him that gives him his power. Like the more scared of him they are, the more powerful he is.
It's the idea that's always been there. And I think my problem with the ending isn't even like the roast of Pennywise being the ending. It's that like when you enter like, because it doesn't feel that long until like you look back on it,
the runtime,
and you realize that like from the moment that they enter the spooky house to go beat up Pennywise to the moment they leave it is like 45 to 50 minutes of screen time. That it is an immensely long climax, and because of that, you just have like they spend the whole movie building up to the ritual of Chud. But then it does.
It's a fake out.
It's a fake out. It's a twist, which is a good twist. But then they immediately forget about that and come up with another solution. And then immediately forget about that solution, come up with another one. And then forget about that one.
They should have done the ritual of Chud and not worked, because that's a big like, oh no. Because that's when you get the big spider Pennywise, which is really cool. I gotta say, I really love that design, that concept.
Really good.
Because instead of, it just being a big spider who doesn't talk or anything,
it has a Pennywise head.
Exactly. So then you still get like the personality and the face of the creature the entire time. Because when you kill just the big spider, it's kind of like it doesn't feel as satisfactory as killing it, because its face the entire time has been Pennywise basically. So getting a big like hybrid spider Pennywise is really cool, really creepy. But then you get like fake outs where they're like, we need to make him turn physically small.
Well, first it's that like Eddie is
the
like,
spear.
I'm not afraid anymore, and like this can kill monsters.
Gate post,
and he throws a gate post through Pennywise, and it hits Pennywise like straight in the deadlights.
Yeah, it goes.
And then
straight down his throat.
he starts like coughing out fire, and he falls over like dead
on these big spikes, and
like they spear him. And I was like, that's actually really good, like good going, because that works off of the we're not afraid of you, you're not strong anymore. But then like, actually Pennywise, it doesn't matter if you're not afraid of me, and then he stabs Eddie through the chest. But then
it does matter if you're afraid of him, because then that's what ends up the ending.
Like, I personally feel like I'm not afraid of you spear through the face is a lot more, it shows that you're not
satisfactory.
Well, and also I think if somebody was really trying to prove to me that they're not afraid, and they're like, I'm not afraid of you, and spears me in the face, is a lot more showing they're not afraid of me than going, you dumb clown.
Yeah. And I mean, also, like, I thought they still could have kept that if they wanted it to be the group joining together to take him down. Because,
speared him in the face.
I mean, because we get a shot of him, like, dying. So he does kill Eddie right after that. Yeah. So we could have still gotten that where he, like, tries to get one last shot in to try and make everyone scared by killing Eddie. And then that's when they all go in. And that's when, because then we get that shot of him trying to pull himself up off the spikes, but he's really weak for a second. And, he's, like, trying to claw at the losers as they run by and stuff like that. And he tries to pull him off. So they could have had it where he's trying to pull himself up to get strong again, and that's when they start roasting him and start making fun of him.
Yeah.
And then because he's already so weakened from all that, he just like
they can just
falls apart on those spikes, and then they kill him. Yeah. And that would have been a much better ending. But instead we get multiple fake outs, and then we get him being fine after taking a spear to the face, which goes against kind of the last movie's logic.
Yes.
And then we get pile of melted ice cream Pennywise.
Yeah.
And
so it really like, and we've ranted about this for a little while. The ending is very like, it's a very lackluster ending.
It's not, I don't want to say it's terrible, but it's not good.
No.
Like, it's not quite as satisfactory. Like, the ending of chapter 1
is very satisfying.
Like, yes, they, and this one is just kind of like, oh, I guess it's over, you know?
But then, so we can talk about the good things now, spoiler wise. One of the things that I really appreciate about this movie is when talking about that it did the It 90 better, is that it takes a lot of those things, like those little classic moments from the It 1990, and it does them again, but does them better. And because like Stanley's head in the fridge, for example, in the original one, is super cheesy. So dumb. And you realize that they've never even met Stanley as an adult. So if anything, it's like, whose head is that? Like, who is this in the fridge? But then like this movie, it's like Kid Stanley's head, and he turns into a spider monster,
and then with teeth,
and it's like terrifying.
Yeah, and it's like, gross and creepy.
It takes original thing, makes it better. I think the Kiss Me Fat Boy scene is way better in this one as well. It's hilarious. And I think that Ghost Rider Beverly is terrifying. And that's such a clever thing with
Ghost
like the
Fire,
whole...
you mean?
You
said Ghost Rider.
I know, because her head lights on fire.
You mean R-I-D-E-R, not W-R-I-T-E-R.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because Ghost Rider is
Ghost
a real
Rider,
thing.
like her head bursts into flames and she's got a skull. But like... Because that's such a clever play on words. Like with the whole thing where she's like, your hair is winter fire. So then her head lights on fire and she chases Ben around the school. Like, that's so clever.
And then immediately we get Kiss Me Fat Boy after that, which is
so good.
We love that scene in the original. Also, there's two scenes I really have to throw the bone to. Like, they are tied for my favorite scenes. And the first is Vicky's death, which is the little girl. Yeah. She has a little birthmark on her face. And that she's kind of taunted for at her school. And when she goes down there, Pennywise is there. And he basically says that he's hiding in the dark because people make fun of how he looks and stuff like that. Because at first she does try to walk away from him and be like, you're not my friend, you're weird and scary, and walks away.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, because like, he looks like that.
And that is such a kid thing to do in 2017. Like, that was actually accurate to what a child would do.
Yeah,
like,
and then he starts crying, and it makes her stop, and she turns around, and you're like, go, keep walking, go. And then he explains that he's hiding in the dark because he doesn't want people to see his face and stuff. And then she relates with that, and he says that he can take away her birthmark on the count of 3. And so she walks close to him, and he goes 1, 2, and then freezes. And it waits like 10 seconds, and then finally she goes, you're supposed to say 3, and he grows his teeth and bites her face off. Like, he literally defaces her. And it was like, and I mean, me and Tyler, we saw that clip in the trailers, and I think we were both just like,
yeah,
whoa.
Because I'm not a big jump scare person. Like, jump scares very rarely get me.
Same.
So the jump scare wasn't like, whoa, but when he chomped on her face, I was like, oh, dang.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just like it was like, whoa. Like, it just hits the ground running. And then the next one is the mirror scene. Just because the suspense in that scene is so good. And that's another
more
clip
scary
we get
than the actual like death. But like, this is the build up in that scene. I think Pennywise bashing his head against the glass in the House of Mirrors is
laughing the entire time.
More frightening than when you see like toothy Pennywise. That was way more scary when he was just like laughing and banging his head over and over.
Yeah, and the entire time, and the framing is so cool because you see the kid in the middle at first, in the middle between the two mirrors, and Bill's on one side trying to break the kid out, and Pennywise is on the other side trying to break in. And at first he's in the middle because he's like, who are these two people? And then he starts backing towards Bill. And you see the glass start cracking. And Bill the entire time is trying to break the glass.
I mean, once he gets his foot up, it seems like he's trying very hard. I don't know what he was thinking that part where it's like... like, do you think you're just... Like, it takes 50 headbutts to get through that glass. You think you're going to get through with your elbow? Like...
And so, but then he starts kicking it. And you see Pennywise the entire time. He's got his palms up on the glass. and leans back and laughs and slams it and slams it.
And it gets like rapid fire as well. It's like boom, boom,
and all of a sudden boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing the teeth start growing out as the glass starts cracking more and more. And then finally he smiles at Bill. He's not even killing the kid for the pleasure of killing the kid. He's killing the kid to mess with Bill.
Yeah.
And he leans back one time and you see his jaws apprehends and boom through the glass and then he swallows the kid whole. Like he swallows the kid whole and bites down and you see blood go poof against the glass and then it's over.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow. Like it is such a well-crafted like suspense scene. And so those are like some of the scenes I have to throw the bone to just because it's Bill Skarsgård's like incredible performance. Because I mean, I guarantee that was him doing the like.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm sure they had him do the headbangs, but and told him to do that. But the way he has both palms on the glass and the way he's laughing the entire time, I guarantee that's all him.
And give as well when Beverly's looking for her token or whatever, and she has like that scene where she sees like old Pennywise.
Where he's painting himself.
Where he's painting himself. It was really cool to see Bill Skarsgård as Bill Skarsgård playing Pennywise. Yeah. That like.
I mean, they still have some prosthetics. You can tell because he has the huge forehead and the teeth.
But watching that, like, very often when I look at Pennywise, it's very hard to find Bill Skarsgård in that face because of all the prosthetics and stuff.
This is a cool in-between,
And what was cool is I was expecting to, like, look at it and then go, like, oh, that's Bill Skarsgård. But it was still Pennywise. It wasn't like, oh, yeah, here's Bill Skarsgård dressing up as Pennywise. Like, he was still Pennywise in that scene, even though he didn't have the makeup or anything on. I really appreciated it.
I thought it was
He's really good.
He is amazing. He kills it. And so I think we both agreed beforehand that this is worth a watch.
Absolutely worth a watch.
It has its problems, but I think we both still really love the movie.
If you watched the first one and enjoyed the first one, you will enjoy this movie. One. The ending, it's unfortunate the ending wasn't better, but it's nowhere makes it a bad movie.
Right, and there are far more pros than cons, I think. Yeah, so I think that's where we're going to put it. It's worth a watch. We loved it. Let us know your thoughts below. So comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Please write a better ending for it. Put it in the comments.
That's actually a really good idea.
Write a better
endings for chapter 2. Because we wrote ours where he falls back onto the thing and then he's so weak that then they roast him and he dies.
Write your own ending. For us.
So, I think that brings us to a close for this time.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. We were really excited for this movie and we're pretty happy with how it turned out, and next up is going to be Battle at Big Rock. Yes!
That gives us something to talk about next week. Yay!
Yes. So that's what we'll be talking about next week. We'll be putting up... So do we want to do that for our review?
I think absolutely, because there's nothing
So we're going to be both doing a video that is something to do with like us actually watching it, and then we'll be doing a review of the short film for next week's segment.
What we'll probably do is we'll film like us watching the whole thing and reactions, but then do like a super cut of important moments.
Okay, and so that will actually be next week's video in place of a review.
Yep.
Cool.
But we'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a subscribe. Click that little notification bell so you can be notified when we actually put out new episodes and we don't miss a week. And
I think that's it. Thank you for going with us beyond the cinema.
Have a great week.